Bandits kill 20, burn houses and shops in Katsina community. Niger State internally displaced persons battle malnutrition, diarrhea, chicken pox. Fire razed down Christ Embassy headquarters in Lagos State. And on the foreign scene, more than 1,000 die in Hajj pilgrimage amid searing heat. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Hour. I am Aisha Salihu. And now the news in detail. In a reprisal attack, bandits numbering about 100 carrying dangerous weapons, including AK-47 rifles, killed 20 people, burnt houses and shops at Maidabino town in Danmusa local government area of Katsina State on Saturday night. According to eyewitnesses, unspecified number of women and children were abducted by the bandits after looting several houses and shops. Those killed have been buried according to Islamic injunction at Maidabino town Sunday morning. Maidabino town is among several communities in Katsina State that suffered from the activities of bandits and other criminal elements for over a decade. Katsina State Police Command is yet to react to the attack. Now joining us via phone is Trust TV's Jamil Mabai to give us an update. Thank you so much, Jamil, for joining us on the News Hour tonight.
Thank you very much.
So what other new information have we learned regarding this attack?
Okay, it's an unfortunate incident that happened yesterday, and, Katsina for the past 1 week has been on the news, for the wrong reasons. And, but the latest information that just I spoke with a community leader from Maidabino who spoke to me that, now the people are in dire need of assistance because there is no way they can go out of Maidabino and nobody can go, nobody can come into Maidabino. So they are locked. And even the military who tried to intervene could not repel the bandit attack. So they are still searching for bodies of burnt, babies. They are still searching, for people who have gone missing. And the tragic incident, what he told me that, among the kidnapped after the attack were mostly women who couldn't, leave their houses. Most of the men were able to run to the forest bushes, while the women that were left were taken by the bandits, and some were burnt alive. He made mention of a particular family who little babies, 3 babies were burnt and sleeping. So this is just the current situation there. Nothing can go in, and nothing can come out. Military cannot go. Community police, cannot have access to Maidabino, and the people cannot come out because the place is within the Rugo forest, one of the bandit terrain. So they cannot come out. They cannot.
Okay, Jamil, just let me cut you in very quickly. We know that Maidabino is one of the communities that has suffered this bandit attack for over a decade. And you have just stated now that people in the community following this reprisal attack are apprehensive. I'd like to hear from you. Has there been any information from the police authorities?
There is no, the police are yet to release a statement, and the government too is yet to release a statement. Even though, Katsina by tomorrow will be hosting the first ever security summit with all the 6 governors with, attendance. And I believe this issue of, recent attacks will be among the topics that, the presentation. But as of now, the police are yet to release any statement. The government also is yet to release any statement regarding the attack.
No, just very quickly before we let you go, if the police is yet to release any statement regarding this, that means no action has been taken whatsoever following this attack. I'd like to also hear from you. You have just stated that the people are apprehensive. So what's then the way forward for them? Is there any plan of local security amongst the people, or what's the way forward?
Okay, I asked the same question to the man. He's a community leader. He's still there. I asked him the same question. I said, okay, you have painted a very great picture for me. You said military of over 17 vehicles, fully armed, couldn't penetrate Medellin. They had to, they had to leave. Then no presence of community was called. You are the only people there. So what is the way out? How are you going to cope? He said he has no idea. They don't know. All they are saying, they keep, saying, let the government intervene, let the government.
Okay. We can only hope that the government and the police authorities attend to this matter as quickly as possible. There we had Jamil Mabai from Katsina State, who just responded to the attack in Maidabina community as it has affected people in that community, especially children and women. Now, moving on from that, farming communities bedeviled by bandits and terrorist attacks in Shiroro, Munya and Rafi local government areas of Niger State are paying millions of naira as dialogue fee to terrorists to enable them access their farms. According to the farmers, despite the millions of naira they had been paying since the beginning of this farming season, attacks had continued. It was gathered that before the attacks, the communities produced maize, millet, sorghum, soybean, yam and cocoyam in commercial quantities, attracting buyers from as far as Lagos, the eastern part of the country, and the Republic of Niger. The president of LACMA Youth Forum, Babangida Zaharaddin Kudodo, confirmed that victims pay dialogue fee amounting to millions to be allowed to cultivate lands. However, in Munya, a local government official confirmed on condition of anonymity that bandits called for a dialogue to allow the affected communities to go to farm, but said they did not collect any levy from the farmers. He said one of the conditions the bandits gave was that they would allow residents access to their farms only if the farmers give them cover whenever they are passing through the community. The national president of Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Baba Usman Ngelzarma, has rejected a bill that seeks to establish a national agency for the regulation and management of ranches in Nigeria. Ngelzarma said pastoralists are looking for the creation of a federal ministry for livestock and fisheries instead of the National Animal Husbandry and Ranches Commission for the regulation, management, preservation and control of ranches. The MACBAN president stated this in Damaturu in an interview with journalists shortly after the inauguration of the State Executive Council of the association. He said by the creation of the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries, the entire livestock value chain issues can be addressed holistically rather than what is going on now at the National Assembly. A bill for an act to ban open grazing and establish ranches as an antidote for the perennial violent clashes between sedentary farmers and nomadic herders in Nigeria scaled second reading after a slightly heated debate in the Senate. Still on security matters, 1 year after a significant peace and reconciliation agreement brokered by the Umar Namadi administration, the local government areas of Guri and Krikasamma in Jigawa state are celebrating a year of uninterrupted peace between farmers and herders. This milestone marks 2 successful cropping seasons without conflict, a notable achievement given the region's history of clashes. The report.
Governor Umar Namadi joined the community in commemorating this peace anniversary, reflecting on the success of his administration's efforts in resolving a long-standing issue that previous governments had struggled to address for over 2 decades. Governor Namadi expresses satisfaction with the progress made and reaffirmed his commitment to build on the gains achieved.
This is an area where for the last 25 years, 30 years, we cannot be able to come to this place because there is a serious fight between the herders and the farmers. As of today, we are celebrating the success of the peace achieved. So far, because of the effort we have done, and also because God has come to our aid in achieving this peace.
So there is many benefits that I got in farming. First of all, like last year, I farmed over 400 bags of rice in the rainy season, and during the dry season, I farmed like 950 bags.
In a gesture of gratitude, the farmers and herders presented Governor Namadi with gifts, which includes bags of rice, wheat, and a cow. This symbolizes their appreciation for his leadership and the positive impact of the reconciliation efforts on their livelihoods.
Children and the elderly at the internally displaced persons camp in Kuta, the headquarters of Shiroro local government area of Niger State, are battling various ailments, including chicken pox, diarrhea, typhoid, and kwashiorkor. Food, potable drinking water, overpopulation, and poor hygiene. Trustee Vice Abubakar Akote, who was at the camp, has more.
Over 5,000 IDPs from communities in Shiroro, Moya, and Rafi local government areas reside in this facility. The roofing sheets of one of the blocks of classrooms used at Central Primary School Kuta were completely blown off since the beginning of this rainy season. Of major concern to the IDPs was lack of foods and access to healthcare services.
All the soldiers that we have there in Alawa, they live there. So that is the major problem that lead to that people, to keep people more than what we are expecting before. Because since the time that they leave Alawa, they leave that Basa, so no any security. So they are doing all what they need. So if they go to your house, you see that armed bandits are about 3 days in your house. They sleep here. They will catch let me call this chicken and use it. They will pack your yams and do their pandit yam.
The current situation in the IDP camp is actually we are in danger. Let me say we are in danger because there is no enough food for us. Let me tell you, we have some of us that are sick. Nobody will take care of them. At times, government will bring food. It will take more than month, 2 months before bringing it again. And when they bring it, it's not. We can't have more than 1 mudu, 2 mudu per person.
The desk officer of the camp, Isu Balakuta, have the breakdown of the number of people at the Kuta IDP camp.
People I have with me here, I have about 1,119 households. Women, 1,119 women. Women. We don't normally have accurate data of men because they are on the move. When they came today, they will go back tomorrow. We cover the little one we profile. We have about 87 men with us who are sleeping. 87 who are sleeping. 87 men. We have total number of 2,511 children.
According to him, majority of the IDPs sleep on bare floors due to lack of relief materials from government. Abubakar Akote, Trust TV News, Mina.
More on health matters. The Lagos state government says the number of fatalities from the cholera outbreak in the state has risen to 35, following the last update, which reported 401 suspected cases and 15 fatalities. At the last count, the government said Lagos Island, Kosofe, and Etiosa recorded the highest numbers. But in the latest update on his Instagram handle on Saturday, the State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, said the number of confirmed cases in the nation's commercial capital is now 417. He said the situation report indicates 417 suspected cases, 35 confirmed cases and 24 recorded deaths. On Thursday, the World Health Organization announced a spike in cholera in several regions of the world, with almost 195,000 cases and over 1,900 deaths reported in 24 countries since the start of 2024. President Bola Tinubu has directed that all civil servants who are drawing salaries from the government after relocating abroad should be made to refund the money. The president also directed that the supervisors and departmental heads of the culprits must also be punished for aiding and abetting the fraud under their watch. Tinubu gave the directive on Saturday at the award night organized by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation to commemorate the 2024 Civil Service Week. The event was also to honor some outstanding civil servants in core ministries. Represented by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, the President expressed dismay over the attitude of the ghost workers. He reiterated that the government would take appropriate measures to ensure they were punished and the money refunded to government treasury. The President acknowledged the challenges in the civil service sector and reiterated his commitment to address them for optimal performance. Kaduna Polytechnic has expelled 17 students of mass communication in December 2023 over alleged examination practice. The alleged malpractices occurred in November 2022, with the students denying wrongdoing. This report from investigative team suggests that even up till now, there is more that meets the eye. Musa Lucas' report is presented from our studio.
Nigerian tertiary institutions are facing a growing problem of examination malpractice, with evidence suggesting a disturbing trend of collaboration between students and some staff members. This unethical practice undermines academic integrity and raises serious questions about the fairness of the education system. In 2023, Kaduna Polytechnic expelled 17 students of mass communication over alleged examination malpractice, which occurred in 2022, despite the fact that some of these affected had already been mobilized for their National Youth Service Corps. The affected students, of course, argue their innocence, claiming that the school took too long to investigate the incident and suggesting that the exam papers leaked from the department's exam office.
I have been hurt, seriously hurt. People who trusted me have no trust for me again. They insulted me and called me names my parents did not give me. I became topic of discussions for students and lecturers. I lost so much weight thinking day and night. I lost focus during classes. Nobody wants to mingle with me again. I was expelled by the school authority.
The picture emerging from an interaction with students who have attended the institution in the past is that examination malpractices are allegedly common in the department.
Because sometimes there is a relationship between the staff and the student, and sometimes it's something that the student already knows a lecturer or someone in the department that can easily help them in one way or the other.
After reading and after having sleepless nights, going to night classes, doing TDB, and then at the end of the day, you now realize that when the result is out, you that is even reading 247, your GP is low compared to people that that they brought in chokes, or rather they saw the exam questions even before the exam started.
To get to the root of the matter, the management of the Kaduna Polytechnic visited the Criminal Investigation Department of Kaduna State Police Command to investigate the matter further. The police report from the investigation fingered 2 lecturers in addition to the students already indicted. In a surprising twist, in March of 2024, the school reversed the expulsions but remained mute on the fate of the indicted staff. The silence of the institution, despite several attempts by Trust TV to reach out to them, has elicited some concerns from experts.
or these students could face as much as a jail term, if I understand that correctly. So it has to be thoroughly investigated. Because I mean, 15 months of investigation, that was unnecessary. That's the lead justice. So that's where it went wrong at first, from the onset. 2 months or thereabouts, they get their justice, So it gave room, the 15 months gave room for too much manipulations, and which would lead to the lecturers not facing also immediate, the indicted lecturers not facing immediate judgments, concerning their input into the matter.
The allegations of leak of exam papers from the department's exam office raises concerns about academic integrity in Nigeria. Stakeholders fear the school's actions may undermine academic integrity in the country.
This is the News Hour coming to you live on Trust Television. Still ahead. Amid rising interest in mining cryptocurrencies, concerns grow over youth dependence on easy money. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is the News Hour on Trust Television. Now let's take a look at some of our top stories again. Bandits kill 20, burn houses and shops in Katsina community. Niger State internally displaced persons battle malnutrition, diarrhea, chickenpox. Now moving on to more stories. The House of Representatives has urged the Office of the National Security Advisor and other relevant security agencies to thoroughly investigate alleged data breaches incidents and bring the perpetrators to justice. The call was contained in a statement by the House spokesperson Akim Rotimi Jr. on Sunday. The statement noted that the House is deeply concerned and views the disturbing pattern of scam messages and phishing websites by some individuals with agenda to cause distractions and undermine ongoing reforms within NIMC. It also quoted the chairman of the House Committee on Population, Jimmy Odimayo, saying that the House will support NIMC's efforts to protect the integrity of the National Identification Number System and other sensitive data. It could be recalled that the National Identity Management Commission had, in a statement, denounced the allegations of data compromise and advised the public to exercise caution and avoid providing personal information to phishing and fraudulent websites. The agency had further assured that measures are in place to safeguard the country's database from cyber threats, including a secure and world-class database. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has busted a snake-guarded shrine used to store illicit drugs in Igor community, Benin City, Edo State. The operatives detected a specially constructed large hole storage in a wall covered with wallpapers and fetish objects. A statement by the Director, Media and Advocacy of the agency, Femi Babafemi, said different quantities of illicit substances such as methamphetamine, loud, Colorado, and Arizona, all strong strains of cannabis with a total weight of 8.743 kilograms, were pulled out from the deep hole dug in the wall of the shrine building. The statement added that 2 ladies, Sonia Ezumezu and Risikatu Tijani, were arrested during the operation on Tuesday after the big black snake guarding the shrine was demobilized. In a separate operation, 2 suspects, Obi Fagusin and Ernest Abanum, were arrested on Saturday, 22nd June, with NDLEA operatives when NDLEA operatives raided the Usain Forest in Ovia Southwest local government area in Edo State, where 209-kilogram cannabis and a motorcycle were recovered. The statement further added that operatives on Tuesday, 18th June, in Abuja intercepted a white Nissan Frontier pickup vehicle loaded with 454 compressed blocks of cannabis sativa weighing 340.8 kilograms procured at Uzeba, Edo State. A 76-year-old grandfather, Francis Omova, linked to the consignment, was arrested. President and founder of Love World Incorporated, better known as Christ Embassy, Pastor Chris Oyakilome, has reacted to the fire incident at the church's headquarters. The main auditorium at church headquarters was destroyed in a fire outbreak on Sunday morning. Checks around the church premises revealed that security operatives had cordoned off the site, while firefighters struggled to contain the outbreak for hours. Also, workers were seen parking some properties that were not burnt as they redirected worshippers to another branch of the church to observe Sunday service. The fire incident hampered free flow of traffic as vehicles had to scramble for safety to navigate through a narrow road. Speaking during Sunday service at the church's campground in Ogun State, Oyakilome said the church would build a bigger headquarters. Meanwhile, the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service says the inferno has been put under control. Margaret Adesheye, Director, LSFRS, confirmed this in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Sunday in Lagos State.
This is Krikasamma, Oregon. As you can see, check out someone on the church.
Youths are increasingly adopting the practice of mining cryptocurrencies for potential gain. The primary tool is to mine this virtual money through the use of smartphones. Some people are, however, uncomfortable with large interest in this area because they feel it interferes with the efforts of these youth to learn new skills and pursue their education. Hassan Koli has more.
Most people, especially youths, spend most of the day using their smartphones to mine digital currencies. It is like an epidemic. The Telegram tap-to-earn games are widely accepted among people after many people celebrated their earnings on media platforms in the middle of April 2024. People like Lawan Musa, a 21-year-old Gombe student, is nevertheless not comfortable with the play-to-earn games, which he says are dragging his friends out of concentration on their studies. This cryptocurrency mining is indeed a threat to our future if not handled properly. Most of my friends have stopped focusing on their studies and businesses as well. They are focusing only on mining such digital currencies. The most annoying part of it is that they can sometimes delay observing prayers and continue tapping their smartphones. One will not be guaranteed to have a benefit after the completion of a game. It is based on expectations. I have a smartphone too, but I believe that focusing on education and physical businesses can never be compared with such mining, and youths have to be very conscious of it. While Lawan is worrying about the said games, his counterpart, Muhammad Umar, sees cryptocurrency mining in another dimension. Almost everyone here is against cryptocurrency mining out of understanding. I can tell you that the issue of being a distracting tool is baseless. Those who were distracted by such mining have no focus in the first place. I am into mining too, and it has never dragged me out of my business. I spent only 20 to 30 minutes doing it. 30 minutes is not much out of 24 hours of the day. But a man must not allow anything to interrupt his studies or social well-being. The negative impact of cryptocurrency mining among youths are still debatable, with many people flagging it as a destructive tool against the unemployed youths targeting Nigeria and other developing countries worldwide. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
In recent times, cases of men and women who look healthy but pass away without serious health challenges is becoming a major concern for people. Health experts say with economic difficulties, the lack of access to healthy living can result in more death. Jimmy Azande reports from Makurdi.
The culture of going for medical checkups is alien to many Nigerians, especially those in their youthful ages. Residents say most times, only very serious health challenges require medical attention.
I have no choice than to go for medical checkup, and this should be my first.
Experts say improper feeding, due to high cost of living, can also result to high mortality rates in the society.
Many things about our coping that is not easy, like in the area of feeding, it's not okay, and even our shelter here is not okay, and we have been surrounded by lack of water, and even our toilets are not even functioning.
Those, especially those children, and this, especially in this rainy season, we're having a very difficult. So we believe that will help us a lot.
Though conditions like stress and high blood pressure may sound unreasonable to many people, experts say these are some of the major causes of sudden deaths.
High blood pressure, if it is discovered immediately and you're going for medical checkup and treatment will be initiated along the line and you'll be fine. But if you're not going for medical checkup, it won't be easy for you to know. And if it is discovered at, let's say, lately, it will be difficult to manage.
You agree with me that the challenges that the adult face, particularly in this climate, where people are facing the challenges of electricity, mobility, people are caught up in traffic. When you lack sleep, a lot of things come up, particularly as it relates with a high blood pressure, which is a common thing among adult Nigerians.
They urge people to check their health statuses frequently for medical advice where necessary. Jimmy Azande, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Still on health matters, medical experts have called for more funding for the nation's health sector to ensure that treatment of glaucoma and other eye diseases receive better attention. Our correspondent, who engaged some medical experts on the management of glaucoma, reports that with improved budgetary allocation, more will be done to help those suffering from the condition. The report.
Findings indicated that many eye patients in Africa are usually in their productive ages. According to experts, such patients are treatable if the condition is detected on time. A glaucoma patient, Augustine Austin, said the disease began in his early years, adding that he was only able to establish himself in music industry through passion.
We know retinoblastoma is a cancer that's basically, in fact, gotten from kids, and I wasn't an exception. Another thing again is, yes, because I was blind doesn't make me not able to do things. But no, the fact that I'm blind doesn't mean I cannot do anything.
In his reaction, an optician explained that eye patients pass through severe pains and called for more awareness against eye diseases, including glaucoma.
Have your eyes checked. If you have a family history of glaucoma, if you have diabetes or hypertension, if you have reason to be myopic or wear glasses for short-sightedness or long-sightedness, please check your eye. We all want people to keep seeing. We don't want anybody to go blind. So it's about critical thing I have always said, and I'm saying again, is early detection.
Meanwhile, the director of Glaucoma Care and Research Institute, Afem Agbena, called on governments at all levels to better fund the healthcare sector, adding that doing so will help increase the nation's productivity.
It's a painful thing for me as a doctor to sit in my clinic and see people who could have been prevented from being blind coming at the late stages. And we felt we are not fighting the war adequately. If we continue to stay in the hospital, then more and more people will go blind. We better take the fight up to them. But we are few. The soldiers on the war front are few. So we need to recruit people.
He enjoined the President Bola Tinubu's administration to empower the healthcare sector with funds and professionals to reduce cases of glaucoma and other health challenges.
Officials of the Nigerian embassy and the Senegalese-based non-governmental organization have, in an overnight operation, rescued 24 Nigerian girls who were subjected to sexual exploitation in the Tambacounda and Kédougou regions of Senegal. The acting ambassador of the Nigerian embassy in Dakar, Senegal, Salihu Abubakar, disclosed this on Sunday. According to him, the girls, mostly underage, ranging between the ages of 11, 13, and 24, are being trafficked to Senegal through Cotonou, Republic of Benin, via Mali to Senegal border for the purpose of sexual exploitation in Tambacounda and Kédougou regions. Abubakar said preliminary investigation revealed that most of the girls who were school dropouts were from Edo and Delta, adding that a few of them were from Imo and Abia, while 2 others were from Plateau. He, however, said of the 24, 22 were already repatriated weeks ago, while the 2 other ladies were repatriated to Nigeria on Saturday and had landed in Nigeria safely. The diplomat could not immediately give the details of the health status of the victims and other information regarding the time they spent while undergoing sexual exploitation in Senegal. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has predicted thundery and rainy weather conditions from Sunday to Tuesday across the country. NIMET's weather outlook released on Saturday in Abuja forecast morning thunderstorm on Sunday over parts of Gombe, Bauchi, Borno, Adamawa, Jigawa, Taraba, and Kaduna states. It envisaged thunderstorms over parts of Zamfara, Kebbi, Kano, Borno, Adamawa, Bauchi, Katsina, Kaduna, Jigawa, Yobe, and Taraba states later in the day. The agency anticipated thunderstorms to be accompanied with rains across southern Nigeria in the afternoon and or evening hours. According to it, thunderstorms are predicted over most parts of the northern region later in the day. NIMET advised the public to take adequate precautions as strong winds might precede the rains in areas where thunderstorms were likely to occur. It urged airline operators to get updated weather reports and forecasts from NIMET for effective planning in their operations. You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. We'll return shortly. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. Let's move over now to the world of business. A framework to help the Central Bank of Nigeria in its efforts to strengthen the nation's banking industry has been made available by the Securities and Exchange Commission. The framework, posted on the SEC website on Friday, attempts to guarantee a seamless, open, and effective capital raising procedure for banks and holding companies participating in the CBN's Bank Recapitalization Initiative. During the 2024 to 2026 recapitalization phase, the framework will offer banks principles and processes for raising capital through private placements, rights issuing, and other permissible ways. To boost productivity, the CBN ordered in March that the capital basis of deposit money banks be increased. The new minimum capital requirements stipulated that international banks had to raise their capital bases to 500 billion naira, national banks to 200 billion naira, and regional banks to 50 billion naira. We'll take it away from Nigeria now. More than 1,000 people have died during the Hajj this year. According to report, extreme heat hammered the almost 2 million who took part in the annual Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca. Most of the dead were Egyptians. Security and medical personnel said on Sunday that the Egyptian death toll had risen to 672 and another 25 were missing. A total of 236 Indonesians died, according to Indonesian government data, while India's External Affairs Agency said 98 Indian citizens died during Hajj. An Australian man was also among those who died. Further deaths were reported by Tunisia, Jordan, Iran, and Senegal. Still on the foreign scene, at least 42 people were killed in an Israeli attack on districts of Gaza City in the north of the Palestinian enclave on Saturday, the director of the Hamas-run government media office said. One Israeli strike on houses in Al-Shati, one of the Gaza Strip's 8 historic refugee camps, killed 24 people, while another 18 Palestinians were killed in a strike on houses in the Al-Tufa neighborhood. The Israeli military released a brief statement saying an IDF fighter jet struck 2 Hamas military infrastructure sites in the area of Gaza City, adding that more details would be released soon. Hamas did not comment on the Israeli claim to have hit its military infrastructure. It said in a statement, the attacks targeted the civilian population and vowed in a statement saying the occupation and its Nazi leaders will pay for the price for their violations against its people. Footage obtained by Reuters showed dozens of Palestinians rushing out to search for victims amid the destroyed houses. The footage showed wrecked homes, blasted walls, as well as debris and dust filling the street in Shati refugee camp. Russian guided bombs shattered an apartment building in Ukraine's second-largest city on Saturday, killing 3 people, injuring 52, and prompting President Volodymyr Zelensky to call for more help to deal with the growing threat of such weapons. Pictures posted online showed parts of the 5-story apartment building in ruins, with windows smashed, balconies wrecked, and rubble strewn about a crater on the ground. Prosecutors in Ukraine's eastern Kharkiv region put the casualty toll at 3 dead and 52 injured in the mid-afternoon attack, including 3 injured children. Regional Governor Oleh Zainvor said 4 of those hurt were in serious condition. Later in his nightly video address, Zelensky said Russian forces had used more than 2,400 guided bombs on Ukrainian targets in June alone, with about 700 aimed at Kharkiv. He said after the United States Congress gave delayed approval of a big aid package in April, Ukraine's replenished arms supplies had reduced the devastation and frequency of missile attacks, adding that the same had to be done now to fend off these bombs. Finally, in sports news, Nigeria's Flamingos have been drawn in Group A of the FIFA Women's Under-17 World Cup. Bankole Olowokere's side were paired in the same group with hosts Dominican Republic, Ecuador, and New Zealand during Saturday's draw in Santo Domingo. The Flamingos were dominant during the qualifying campaign, where they defeated the Central African Republic 12-0 on aggregate and recorded another 7-1 aggregate victory over Burkina Faso before a 6-1 aggregate win against Liberia saw them qualify for a 7th World Cup. Having won bronze in the last edition of the World Cup in 2022, Olowokere and his side will be aiming to go one step further, with Africa still to produce a world champion at this level. The Flamingos are favorites to advance from their group, though having reached the knockout stage in 4 out of their 6 participations in the Under-17 Women's World Cup. And on a lighter note, let's take a look at how an overheard Conversation on an aeroplane changed Brighton's Zambezi's life. The former technician is now one of Zimbabwe's pioneering black soldier fly maggot farmers, rearing the flies to produce affordable chicken feed for farmers. Very well then, you're up to speed with some of the latest imagined and reimagined stories in Nigeria and beyond. And with that, we've come to the end of the news hour tonight on Trust Television. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.